All right, hey guys, it's 7 o'clock, June 16th. Um, all right, I'm on Bitcoin 30 minute. So, some developments. I should always watch my other video, the latest video, before I maybe start a new one to remember what I kind of did before. But I don't think this stuff had happened yet. So, one thing that we thought, maybe that this was a 1, 2, 3, and then all we were doing is putting in the 4, and then we did this little shoot up for the 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes sense. You can do some relationships between, the distance of the 1 from the bottom of the 4. It's between the 100 and the 1, 2, 7, 2, which is pretty probable, makes sense. Um, and now I threw this pitchfork on. I had a pitchfork on here that was also holding the price pattern, but I decided to incorporate the new move, and that seems to be holding it pretty well. So I'm happy with this pitchfork that I have on here. So I am looking to be a buyer, somewhere along the line. I actually haven't bought in yet. It was tempting to buy in here. You had a moving average, you had the 382, you had the 100%. I measured the distance between here to here. You get the 100%, the 1, 2, 7, 2. So this would have been a decent buy somewhere in here. You have algo targets based on the bounce off the 50 here. You have the first one, the second one, and the third one down here. Again, I just don't like being a buyer on some of these shallow moves, especially when a new trend is establishing. Sometimes when the trend is really, piping hot, you're going to have to look to be a shallower buyer. But yeah, I just don't. I'm pretty cautious right now. But I am looking maybe to be a buyer between the 50 and the golden zone. Here's an algo target. Here's a channel wall. Really hoping we get another push down here to fill some orders. So that's kind of what I'll be waiting on, and hopefully that'll fill sometime tonight. Um, yeah, it'll or by sometime tomorrow by noon. I would assume if it's gonna go down here, it's gonna happen pretty quick. Um, Quick check on the dominance. It's still holding pretty high. I do think we're gonna get a little bit of relief here, though. It looks like pretty obvious divergence on the 4 hour, 8 hour. I think there's some. Usually these things are pretty similar. You have some moving average. I could see this coming down and maybe testing here before going to new highs, giving some alts a little bit of a relief. That would make sense to me. Um, Speaking of alts, I have entered on a few swings here. Bought here. I didn't get stopped out yet. I think I'm going to give it some room. But I don't love seeing this. And a few coins have done this. You have the Ethereum break. Again, I was a buyer here. You have this break. I'm going to give it some room, probably below this overall 50. Yeah, it's the measure from here to here. That's the 50. So probably put my stop just below that and below the 786. But yeah, you would want to have seen that hold. I was we did get a nice little bounce here across the board. I think that would have been the one if it was going to go. So I'm not too. I'm more leaning now, since this is becoming a little bit deeper, is that this is just an A B C. Um, yeah, I think that maybe that's what we've done here across these coins, which also you could make the argument for Bitcoin as well. But this certainly seems maybe more likely now that this is an ABC. And if you just, I always like to look at Bitcoin to validate the structures that I'm seeing. Is this all we've done? You, it would seem more likely, especially if we break this golden zone. That's going to be the contender here. Just another ABC. These get pretty annoying in a bear market. So I'm just flipping through some of the coins that I've entered. ABC again, breaking. So this was really nice. I was a buyer right here, 306. You know, this nice little move, and then you got this to break through the golden zone. I am giving these some room because if a new trend does kind of establish, these retracements do tend to be deep. You know, maybe something finished here ABC, and then we've finished. This structure seems a little out of place, and I don't know, in relation to this pivot at least. Maybe we've corrected the whole thing. Um, just that's pretty well 382. You know, it's a shallow retracement if this is just an ABC. A little too early to tell, but that's kind of, now that we are breaking these golden zones, it's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Another break here on uni. Again, that same structure that we're seeing. You know, why did I, you know, enter this? We've talked about that in other videos, I think. But yeah, you know, I was kind of doing the hopeful, which is still very much alive. I mean, don't get me wrong. 786 still holds a lot of shit. I just, you know, you just want to see this hold. And I still think this is a valid count across the board. Still could be in play. There are some stronger coins that, you know, GRT. Let me see if I got a fill on that. No, 664. Yeah, it's a little further down, but yeah, I still have some buy orders down here. Here's another, you know, one. I got some fills here. I got tagged luckily on this. I'm on Binance for ADA just because it has a lot more data, and I barely just got filled on Coinbase. I just got another fill here, and then I have another fill down here. Link, got some fills stronger. So there are some stronger coins here, especially 1inch. Man, this thing is just not. I do have, because of that, I am a more aggressive buyer here. I typically don't like doing that, but man, compared to Bitcoin, this thing is like one of the stronger coins out there right now, at least from what I'm seeing. Oh, besides KNC, God, I'll go to that one next. This one hurt. So, you know, I bought here. Golden zone, algo targets. You had the 618 here. I just didn't like the break of the golden zone, and the reason I didn't like it is this is at 730 where we get to the lowest point, and comparatively to Bitcoin, 730 was only right here. And I didn't like how shallow, you know, Bitcoin hadn't even reached the 382 yet, and KNC is already at its golden zone. So this is where that mantra of trade the chart that's in front of you comes in, is because of shit like this. So 730, you know, we get this little bounce up, and then we make new lows. And that's what happened with most of the coins. You know, so if you look respectively, here's 730, and we make, you know, considerable new lows. And so on KNC, when I saw that this coin was a lot deeper than the other coins. It was, you know, in relation to Bitcoin, way deeper. And so I was more interested in protecting my capital, and I sold I got stopped out for partial here, and then I sold for the remainder here for like just slightly above my entry for a break. A very small loss. And then I was hoping that, you know, we would tag the 100, the second algo target, and the 786, and then this shelf of, you know, resistance, support resistance, hopefully. But what happened is this thing just took off. Definitely happens. It stings a little bit because it's just, you know, I still think I made the right decision. I made the right decision, you know, across the board. It's just, you know, this one got away from me. But that's, you know, there you go. This definitely took a different route than what the rest of the coin did and the rest of the market did. But you know, if we do come down, I'll look to be a buyer. And one strategy that I always like to do when I do that is I don't pull from here. I prefer to use the main range, the main measurement algos. So like, I might be more interested in. I can take this shit off too. Some of this isn't relevant anymore, obviously. I was measuring this move and getting my target down here and down here. But you know, if it rolls over, I'd be more interested in buying on, you know, the 382 or definitely this 50. And you can draw. I mean, I will draw it, but because you can see some, like the 50 lines up really well with the 382. So that's where I would try to re-enter if this doesn't make new highs. But yeah, this coin KNC is just doing all kinds of shit right now. no other coin is doing this. Um, so yeah, the these coins I entered on right here initially spiked up. I didn't like seeing this. I got stopped out, I think here, or raised my stop loss. Same thing here. I entered here. We get this bounce up. Then I got stopped out on the return down here, which was I was just playing these pretty cautious, and I thought, oh god, this is just double bottom now. It's going to take off. Nope, didn't. So that at least preserves some mental sanity. Um, this 886 is doing the Lord's work right now, trying to hold this, but I don't see that happening, especially with how many tries. So I was okay taking a swing at this. Very very small loss. I mean, we're talking 2% loss, not even, I think. Yeah, 2%. My entry's actually a little lower. I think it was down here. Yeah, half percent and a half, whatever. Take that all day. Um, yeah, now I'm more interested in, maybe being somewhere down here or seeing if it actually does get to this main swing that, that we've talked about from this move. From this shelf down to here to this 50, that gives you the algo target down here. This pivot where we bounce off the 50, you get one algo target, second algo target. And then from this pivot down, which I don't really think is relevant, we haven't even reached the 236, so I'll probably just take that off. Yeah, we'll see where this goes. I'm going to keep watching this. I really like the pitchfork that I have on it, so if nothing else, I will be buying off that structure. So I might take a swing here, see if depending on where we come down, but maybe I'll take a swing at this. I mean, we get an algo target here. Maybe if it tests the channel wall with the algo target, let's see if something bites. But otherwise, yeah, this is the spot that I want to be looking at. Yeah, keep my eye on this guy. This is crazy. This thing is just not coming down. I don't. 7 o'clock. So, if you haven't already noticed, at least in Central Time, the new daily candle prints at 7, and so yeah, we just moved over from a new candle, and usually at 7 o'clock you're gonna see some added volatility when that daily candle comes out, or usually just before it. You usually get a little bit of action. And it looks like the daily candle wants to maybe start going in the downward direction, which I'm okay with. Usually, I don't know. This is personal opinion, but the direction of the opening candle, so if this candle just prints right now and then just immediately starts going down, I actually find that a little encouraging, because sometimes it's usually creating a wick, maybe something like this, and then rarely do you see a candle here that doesn't have some attempt at upward. You could check almost all of these and not find a candle that doesn't have a wick on both sides for a daily. I mean, you do get this little wick here, but if we make our way down, I still think it's likely that we'll at least make some sort of attempt up. Sorry, that was a tangent, and I really don't put much credence in it. It's just an observation that I've had over the years. Yeah, I would like this to come a little bit lower. Still hugging this median line. Good lord. So yeah, I'm gonna fine tune some of my entries to better coincide with the channel structure. Some of them are just basic, just above the 50, just above this algo target, just above this. This shelf of support here, that would be nice to see it come down and tag that. So I'll fine tune these and see where we go. All right, 14 minutes. Yeah, that's good. All right, see you guys.